When I started teaching, I had always loved school. I liked school. One reason I liked it so good because I knew what was waiting on me when I got home. So you learn to like school pretty quickly. I love to see the first day of school come every year. Well, teaching when I started was considerably different than it is now. We lived in Central Florida. We had no air conditioning, none whatsoever. And I remember my first year, I had a classroom on the second floor. Actually, we had a basement on the first and second floor in that old building. And my entire west wall was jalousie windows. No air conditioning. I had 31 students. And it was so hot, you would just stand there and sweat. The students were hot, and the teacher was hot. And it was just not a good working or a good learning environment when it was so hot that you just trying to keep cool if you could. And after that, I moved to a new school. It had no air conditioning, and it was in Central Florida too. The first air conditioning I ever experienced in the schoolhouse was in Walton County. And I don't know if we were that far ahead of other counties or what, but the first air conditioned classroom I ever had was in Walton County, Walton High School. I started out at Walton teaching, the first year I had civics and world history. That's 9th and 10th graders. And I did that for a few years and went to Paxton then as principal. From there I went to the county staff and superintendent, and then back to Walton High School where I finished up. I taught civics, world history, American history, economics, and American government. Thoroughly. My favorite thing to teach was American government to my seniors. Well, yes. I mean, they still students that contact me. In fact, there was 2 of my former students here last Friday. I hadn't seen them in years and years, and both of them came and spent about an hour and a half with me, and we had a really good visit. I enjoyed them, and it was good. It's always good to run into my students at Winn-Dixie or Walmart or somewhere, and in fact, I saw a girl at Walmart the other day that I taught, and she said, "I just want you to know you made a difference in my life." That's worth everything. And she's doing very well. She's got a nice family, and told me how much she appreciated what I'd done for them, and I enjoy hearing that. I think most any teacher would. I've told people this many times. If there's anything good that happens in a school, it's always in the classroom. It's never in the principal's office. It's never the superintendent's office or the board office. It's always in the classroom. And that is so true. And there are so many good things that go on in the classroom. Nearly all the kids, all the students are good. They are. Most of them are. I know they get a bad rap, and some of them deserve it, but most of the kids are good kids, and they're there to try to learn, and they behave themselves. There was really not a great deal of difference. I mean, you just went from working with teenagers to working with adults, But you've got the same situations going on with adults that you do with students in the classroom. It's just at a different level. I never had any trouble making the adjustment going from the classroom to administration and from administration back to the classroom. Any teacher's heart is always in the classroom. And I got into administration because I needed to make more money for the main reason. And 2, I thought I would enjoy it, and I did. I really did. But the transition from classroom to administration was not that great, and it wasn't difficult for me because my heart was always in the classroom. I went from classroom to administration to back to classroom and back to superintendent, but it was all good. And I was 26 years old when I first served as a principal. Then I stayed in it for several years, and, as you know, and eventually ended up being superintendent, and back to the classroom I went then. So, yeah. But it was all good. I enjoyed it. I learned from it, and I enjoyed working with kids. I enjoyed working with adults. I like people. I like to work with people. Well, I think probably being reared on a farm was the greatest advantage I ever had. I mean, it instilled a work ethic, not just me, but for all of, I mean, we knew we had a job to do when we got off that bus every afternoon, and we didn't question it. I mean, Daddy knew what time we got home, and he expected you in the field in about 30 minutes after you got something to eat and change your clothes. Now kids don't go home and change clothes. We took off our school clothes and we put on work clothes. There is no way to measure, I don't think, what a person learns when he's a child, and you don't even realize you're learning it. I'd have to say that a strong work ethic is one of the greatest benefits I learned as a child, and it has carried through. A part of my life is getting things done correctly and getting them done on time. That's just part of me, and I credit that to the way I was raised and work ethic that I was taught when I was a kid. First thing I do is decide what you want to do and want to be, and then prepare yourself for it, whether it's going to college or whether it's trade school or whatever. Decide what you want to do for the rest of your life, because 45 years is a long time to get up every morning and go to a job you don't like. Decide what you want to do and then prepare yourself for it, and then do your job well. And that would have to be my advice to, and I've told this to my seniors when I was teaching them, you know, just because you think you want to go to college doesn't mean that's what you need to do. And if you can in any way determine what you want to do in life, what direction you want to take, what you want to do to make a living for you and your family, decide that first and then get the preparation that you need. But so many of them now, they try to get the preparation first and try to fit in someplace what they want to do, and end up a lot of times in a situation they don't enjoy. It's not necessary to go to college to get a good job and get a job that is fulfilling, and you end up going to every day that's enjoyable. If you got a job that you enjoy, you never have to go to work. Yeah, and there's a lot of truth in that too, because I enjoyed going to work to the day I retired. I enjoyed my years in the school system, and how it's changed in the last 50 years is just phenomenal. There's a lot of things that we know would be good for the school system that you just can't do for one reason or another, you know. And it's not necessarily politics, it's finances a lot of time. I mean, time constraints. So there's just so many things that limit what you can do.